If you're planning to buy a car and you don't know what to look for or where to look to dodge a bullet, look no further. I'll tell you all you need to know and the places to check before you make a commitment. There's more to this topic because there's more to investigate, but hopefully these 4 will help you when you go and make your purchase soon. Buying a used car is a challenge because not all of the cars are as perfect as it would seem on the photograph. Yet sometimes the seller will assure you, oh, the car is just immaculate, there's nothing wrong with it. The Craigslist rebuild. Psst, psst. Oh, lost the receipts, pal. Yeah, the seller will assure you that the car is immaculate, and that's often not the case. And since you're here, I kindly ask you for your support. Since this is a small channel, I need your help. So subscribe if you want. Thank you. Without further ado, let's dig in. The first thing you can see even before getting close to the car is the panel gaps. All cars when coming out of the factory are very well fitted together. So that means if there's something wrong, like here in this picture, the high chance is that the car has had an accident or a bump of some sort. This isn't that big of a deal, but for example, if you see like a weird panel gaps between an arch and a front bumper and a front bumper in the hood or bonnet, you can usually tell that there has been some sort of an adventure in the front of the car. So don't believe this seller just yet. Don't believe him, her. Don't say it out loud just yet. Keep the clues to yourself. Next thing I like to check is the engine leaks. And by leaks I mean gaskets. Usually you can see that the engine is nice and dry, but sometimes, for example, the cam cover gasket will be deteriorated and the engine around it will look wet, like here. Same thing about the oil pan on the bottom. If it's wet around it, you might have a clue that this will be your next repair cost. You can sometimes see the bottom crank seal dripping and the engine being excessively oily around that area. If there's like an edge underneath the, what is it called? Crankshaft pulley, I think. Yeah, it will be the front crankshaft seal to be replaced, so that's more money out for you. And all these will be the clues of the engine condition or the seller's maintenance habits, but don't base your decision on this alone yet. The car just has been very old. In such an old car, maybe the rubber is just too old to hold any fluid in. So hold on! You won't base this decision if you're buying a 1971 Buick Riviera or 1989 Nissan S13. I do expect these cars just leak. They're old, the rubber is gone, but as they say, if it leaks, it has oil. Next thing, additionally to checking the body panel gaps, you could go a step further and check the paint thickness. After an accident, people tend to respray the car 90% of the times the cheapest way possible. To check the paint, you can get yourself a cheap paint thickness meter. I'm not sure how that is called, but I'll leave the link in the description. It's not my link. It's just a general eBay link that you can click. You will know what to look for. If the car has been painted, the meter will show, I think, way more than 0.2 or 0.3 mil. If there's Bondo under the paint, the meter won't show anything at all. You could also do it with a magnet, like a weak magnet. If it sticks to the paint, you might think, oh, there's no Bondo underneath it. But if it doesn't stick, the metal sheet is just too far away from the paint, the magnet will not stick, and you know the rest of the story. One last thing, if you really like the car and if it's drivable, if it starts, if it drives, when you go for a test drive or a ride, listen carefully. In the car it's usually supposed to be quiet, except obviously a wild race car. If you want to buy that one, you can skip this point altogether. But if you want to buy a normal car, then listen for the suspension knocks. When you're driving or riding, take the car on some faster road, a highway or a motorway, then listen. You might hear some faint knocking coming from the suspension while you're driving over bumps or accelerating or braking. If you feel that this isn't right, you're probably correct. Every knock you hear, it's a potential cost that you will probably have to cover at some point in the future. The rubber might be gone, the bushings might be gone, something else might be gone. You'll have to fix that eventually at some point. Use your peepers and your ears to determine if the car is worth your while. Don't waste your time on a car that the seller is claiming to be an absolute gem, but you clearly see that it isn't. But if you're willing to do the work, just negotiate. These points will be great hooks to lower the price. If you really want the car, if you really like the car, don't be afraid to negotiate. Just tell them your price. I'm willing to pay such and such amount of money, and it is what it is. What do you do? It's up to you. Whether you buy this car or tell the seller to go away, it's up to you. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you a little bit, and see you on Monday. Bye!